Greetings, metalheads, and welcome to the Friday 13th YouTube channel. Today, I've just done a fantastic interview with Vivien Lalu from the band Lalu. As we all know, Lalu have recorded a fantastic album last year called The Fish Who Wanted to Be King, released on Frontier Records. Now, I'd like to thank Vivien for doing this interview. I'd also like to thank Gary at Red Sands for setting this up. So thank you, guys. Be safe. Please share this on social media, folks, and please leave comments. Some great interviews coming in the very near future. Like I said, please check out Lalu albums. They are fantastic progressive rock metal albums. Thanks for watching, Metalhead. Be safe. So, folks, we're speaking to Vivien from the band Lalu. Welcome to Friday 13th once again. Vivien, I hope you're doing very well today.
Yeah, very good. We were talking just before we started the show, and yeah, the year started very busy. And 2023 actually ended very busy, but it's a good thing. It's not bad. Not bad.
I just have to say, Vivien, that your last album is absolute fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't stop playing it. I go to the gym. I listen to it at the gym. I listen to it at home. You know, there's something about your band that's very magical, but we're going to talk about that soon. So I'm going to start the interview off just by asking you, when you listen to the Atomic Metal album, how successful was that for you, looking back now?
Oniric Metal, it was kind of successful. I think back in the day when the album was out, from the first week, it sold like 2,000 copies or something, which was not too bad for a debut. And I've got a lot of unexpected reviews from, for example, in France. We have this massive newspaper called Rock Hard, you know, which
I know it. Yeah,
around the world, and they gave me the title of Album of the Month, and it was crazy because I used to read Rock Hard like everybody when I was at high school, and so it was insane because I've done this album mostly alone, you know, outside of the musicians. I produced it alone at my home studio. And it was really a labor of love, you know, a one-man thing. And I couldn't expect that it would be so well welcomed, you know. So, yeah.
it was a very interesting album because you had a lot of guests on there, like Russ from used to be with Annihilate and so many other guests. You know, I mean, it was originally Sound to Lion music, but correctly, if I'm wrong, did Bandcamp re-release it with a remastering, or was that the second album that got remastered?
Yeah, exactly. And finally, the original version is also up there because outside of the remaster, a lot of people ask me also about the original version. And I remember that for the remaster, I had made some alterations to some of the songs, nothing huge, but mostly it's around the intros and stuff like that. And so in the end, yeah, I put up there also the original version so people can choose whichever they prefer, the remastered version or the regular version. And I think that's on YouTube as well. So yeah, that's cool.
I need to check that out because I've got the original copy here, that line, because I remember reviewing this album for you many, many years ago.
Ah, yeah.
And I was like, because Lion Records had a lot of good bands, but they did a lot of instrumental stuff, which kind of didn't appeal to me. But when they released an album with vocals, I was like, whoa, I've got to check this out. Like the Mushroom band that they released, another great band that they had on that label.
Yeah, thank you. I think next year will mark 20 years since release, which is insane.
Really? As long as that? Wow.
Yeah. It was 2005, so next year is like the 20 years anniversary.
So why has it took you so long to do albums then? Well, all that big.
Yeah, I think it was just the flow of life, you know, making albums asks a lot of effort, you know, especially when you are alone. Producing your own records is not really easy financially, and typically whenever I was making album, it was like a lot of love money, you know. A lot of my family, my parents would help me financially, you know. I remember, especially for Oniric Metal, I worked a daily job and I took a loan to be able to produce it. Yeah, I know that's crazy, right? Because this doesn't pay my rent or anything, but it's this need to create, you know, at all price, and it doesn't matter if I have to wait, but it has to be done. it was taking a long time, but no, it's faster thanks to Frontiers. I mean, Frontiers is enabling me to release an album, you know, like every year or every 2 years, which I wouldn't be able to do on my own. So that's really cool.
Right. And so in the second album, Atomic Ark, that was a great album with Virgil on drums. I mean,
Yeah.
how did that album sell for you? Because your lineup got stronger and better with each album.
Yeah. Atomic Ark was a special animal. It didn't do bad. I think it did around the same as Oniric Metal, but it was darker. Oniric Metal, like his title says, is a little out there in the stars, you know. It's really it sounds very dreamy at times. Songs like Night in Poenari are very heavy, but mostly it's some kind of, like the title says, some oniric metal music. And Atomic Ark was really kind of dark, you know, like some kind of dark matter. You see on the cover already there is a boat exploding with what seems like a nuclear explosion. And the name itself, Atomic Ark, is the name of an experiment in which back in the day the army made nuclear tests on animals loaded on a boat. So yeah, you get it. It was
Because that was released on Serenity Records, which is Ken Goldsmith, I believe, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it was on Sensory.
Yeah, he had quite a lot of bands. He had like 0 Hour, other than like he did the first Redemption album.
Yeah, a lot of great bands, even Ark.
Oh yeah, Ark were amazing back in the day.
Yeah, they started out on Sensory too, with one of my favorite songs, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was really good, but it was I think that's funny because I thought that Atomic Ark was the furthest possible from prog, but when I listen back to it, there are moments where basically it's like a preview of what's gonna come later. You have this song, Follow the Line, which sounds like Gentle Giant, a heavier version of Gentle Giant. Then there is this interlude called Mirror Prison, which has some kind of mellotron around the end, mellotron keyboards. And I realized it afterwards, you know, like there was an old school progressive rock element into it. And yeah, then as you know, with Paint the Sky, I switched completely. I have operated a big reset of this project. Yeah.
I mean, that album, you had like Mike Lepon from Symphony X, and you had also Martin, you had Virtual, and Simone from DGM. Do you still keep in touch with those guys?
From time to time, we message each other. I mean, over the years, you know, we wish each other happy birthday and stuff like that on Facebook. We exchange some messages. With Simone, I should say, and Martin, it's probably the closest relationship I have. For example, Simo, I've worked with him on the 8 Ruzi record last time. And Martin is a friend. I mean, when I rebooted the project and I had Damian Wilson as singer, I was still hanging every week with Martin and playing some games online like Star Citizen and stuff. We are really friends outside of the music world, you know. Well, yeah, he's like a brother. So yeah.
That's brilliant. So I mean, the third album, because you switched singers, Martin left the band, and you got the singer from Threshold. I mean, how did it come about to get him in the band? Because when I first heard that he was joining the band, I wasn't too sure if it'd be suitable for the music, and I wasn't sure if it'd work. But the more I played the album Painted Scars, the more I got into it.
Yeah, so basically I wanted to come back to my roots, to the music I loved while growing up. So it's really British progressive rock, you know, from the 70s. And so for this new version, I really needed an English voice, an English singer. And that's how I thought about messaging Damian about him, because I knew him since the early 2000s, even though we never worked together. And I say to him, hey, here is the idea. I told him, and I sent the music to him, and little by little, it just happened like that.
I mean, that album, Painted Skies, is a great album. You've had some really fantastic musicians on that album. I mean, you had like Tony Franklin in the band. You had Simon Phillips on drums, and then you had Steve Walsh. I mean, picking all these people must have been quite difficult back then.
Yeah. Some of them I got through my manager, for example, I didn't have direct contact with Steve Walsh. It was all done through my manager. And for me, it wasn't real because my parents were playing covers of Kansas. I'm the son of two musicians, and my parents were playing prog live on stage in the 70s, and my mom was on stage with her Moog, and I was inside her belly, and they were playing songs of Yes, Kansas and stuff.
I remember you telling me last time we did an interview was listening to all these songs in your mum's stomach.
I know. I keep repeating the same stuff over and over again, but it's still insane. I mean, I can't wrap my head around it, it happened. And I don't even know if Steve Walsh heard the album or the finished version, but it was really cool from what I heard. He even recorded the second time the session because he wanted to make it better, and he's a good guy, I think.
I'm pretty sure he would have heard the song on the album. I'm pretty sure he would have done. He wouldn't have recorded the song without listening to it.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I want to think that if it was a complete utter crap,
No, I think his voice was very suited for that song. I think he did a really, really good job.
Yeah.
I mean, so did Painted Skies sell well for you? Because last time we spoke, you were just finished recording the album and it was just getting promoted. Did it do well for you in the end?
Well, yes, because I think I went from 100 monthly listeners on Spotify. So monthly listeners on Spotify is like an indicator of the success of a project. And I had literally, before the album was released, only 100 fans listening to my music every month, And only Atomic Ark was out there, I think, Oniric Metal. And it jumped to the 3,000s or something. So it was really a big boost for the project. And now, again, with the new record, I am somewhere around 5,000 unique listeners. So it keeps increasing. Of course, if you check bands like Dream Theater, they must be at 1 million listeners. I mean, it's I'm not a household name, but it's fine. It's
They always say the smaller bands are the best, and I agree.
Well, it's funny you say that because a lot of my favorite albums and bands have between 1,000 to 10,000 followers on Spotify. So I get from where you're coming. Yeah.
So when you look a little back at the Painted Sky album, what's your favorite songs, Vivien, from that album?
From Paint the Sky. Oh, I love this experimental dark jazz progressive tune at the gates of hell, standing at the gates of hell. I really like it. It sounds very original. At least when I listen to it, it doesn't sound like
it's very jazzy in places, especially in the instrumental part.
Yeah, and another track I really like on this one is We Are Strong around the end. We made even a little lyric video for that one, and I love it.
Right, brilliant. So just before we talk about the new album, you got together with Ray Alder and Mark Zondi. You did the A to Z album, which is another fantastic debut album. I can't wait to hear the new album. I believe it's going to be a lot darker than the first album. Is that correct?
You mean the next
A to Z is going to be heavier, darker, and different to the first album?
Joop and I are not playing on the next A through Z album. It's
really?
The one mentioned. Yes. It's like basically this is more like a project than a band. It's like Mark's project, and he kind of have his own idea on how things should be, and it's totally fine for us. I mean, I have done project myself, so I have changed lineup, and but I think that he announced that he wants to go for a heavier version of that, And as you noticed with my project, I am completely the opposite direction. It's like I am I am very soft these days. I'm going.
I'm very, very surprised. I'm very shocked that you said you're not doing it, what you've just told me, because I'm really looking forward to the next album. And I think you and Joop have a fantastic chemistry, and it really came well with the A to Z album, the first album.
Oh, yes, yes. I love the Etrusi record. I love what we have done. And Joop and I continue to make music together. And by the way, it might be possible that some of the music we wrote for our own idea of Etrusi might end up somehow under another name or something. But yeah, we are not running, with that. But to be honest, from what I heard, I think the next album will be nice too, if
So
it is.
who's replaced you then, Vivian? Who they got to replace you and Joop? Are you allowed to say? Or
Yeah, I don't know. We have to wait an announcement by Mark. I have absolutely no clue. I know that Mark is somebody who is very right. He's still writing to us and sending royalties and stuff like that. So there is nothing to complain about. It's just he has his idea of how the project should be and where it should go. And but yeah, I really loved what we did on the first one. And to be honest, it was the first time in my life we went in the billboard. We started to be in to pierce through the sales.
that album, doing the album must have brought Lalu a lot of success with your albums, because Ray and Mark are very well known musicians, and for them to people to buy that album A to Z and go, Lalu, I've got to check these guys out. That must have brought a lot of success for your band in general.
Yeah, maybe. And Mark and Ray, they are also from Fates Warning. So you had all the followers from Fates, who were happy to hear some new music from Ray and Mark together, because that was also the point with A to Z. It was like Mark and Ray again, together again. So yeah.
But I mean, when I listened to the A to Z album, it was very special because you had the A to Z, the Fates Warning vibe, but you also had the Lalu, and it came together like magic. It was a magical album.
Yeah, but for sure, Joop and I will do more of that. That is a sure thing. But it's gonna be a separate thing. Mark has his own idea of how things should sound, and we respect that, no problems.
Yeah, it's a fantastic album, by the way. So, just before we talk about the latest Lalu album, what's your favourite songs from the A to Z album?
Ah, uh, all the songs I composed. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I think Joop wrote the best songs on that one. I like a lot. Good question. Horizon is really great. I love Borrowed Time. Borrowed Time is actually one of the songs we truly kind of wrote all together, like a jam. It was really like everybody did their little piece. It was the thing that was nearest from writing a song as a band. It was really
Right.
nice. I really like Borrowed Time. And I love Sometimes also.
Yeah, I mean, it had, like I said, it had the Fates one, it had the Lalu, and it also had Juke's guitar play, which is very much like Journey's guitarist, very similar style, but it mixed really well. I'm so sorry to hear that you're not doing the new album, but it is what it is. Like you said, if you're not doing it, they're going to do something heavier. But you did a fantastic debut album, Vivian. So congratulations, man, for doing it.
Thank you very much. And we have so much on our plate this year. You will understand later when you will see everything we will release. I mean, there is so much music to be done and finished, and it's absolutely no problem. Yeah.
Okay, so the new album, then we're going to start The Fisher Wanted to Be King. Who came up with the title? It's a very unusual title.
Well, I had this funny idea. I'm looking a lot of documentaries all the time and science stuff. And I was blown away by the fact that basically humans were once just fishes. We were swimming in an ocean. And then with the evolution, we started walking. And now we have two legs, and we are building basically airplanes, wings, you know, and we want to fly on Mars. So basically, we were one day a fish, and now we are flying to conquer the universe. You know, it's the idea that humans, as you know, have this very egocentric view of the world. If you really look at it, it's like humans believe they are the center of everything. Like they don't give two shits about nature, about animals, and they expand, you know. And now we are looking to expand and go in the stars. Maybe in some years we will be established on Mars. And I don't see it to stop, to be honest. And so it's we truly are the fish who want to be king. But I use it as the past, the fish who wanted to be king. It underlines the fact that this is not ending well for humanity. And it's a little like a negative take on this topic, as opposed to Paint the Sky, which was more positive. Paint the Sky was truly a positive album. And yeah.
So, I mean, I'm looking at the album cover now, and it kind of reminds me of a cross between Avatar, the film, and also Lord of the Rings. Do you kind of agree with me on that?
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at the background, you see like those three giant things. We don't know if it's bones or if those are giant stones, but yeah, it's kind of a mysterious artwork. Yeah.
So, did you have any other titles for this album, or was it that was Fish That Wanted to Be
This was
King?
mine. Yeah, the title was mine. Actually, I very rarely write lyrics. I always mostly care about the music composition, and I let the singer come up with the lyrics and concepts. And it's what Damian did. And just like for Paint the Sky, where I say to Damian, please keep the Paint the Sky title, you know, title track. I did the same here. I wanted one song to remain with the same title as the album. And for the rest, Damian did what he wants.
So, who did the artwork for this album for the people that don't know?
Matthias Noren. To be honest, you showed before the backdrop of Oniric Metal, it was already Matthias Noren who made my logo. He was the designer of my logo. And for a long time, because I have been a fan of his artwork for a long time, and I was thinking that one day I should really do something with him and not only use his logo, but probably if he would make the art as well, this would go well together. And I have seen this artwork he had done in the style of Roger Dean, and I was like, this is it. This is amazing. And indeed, the insane part is that he slapped his Lalu logo on it, and it looked, yeah, magical. It worked right off the bat. Yeah.
Okay, so what songs from the new album are your favourites? I mean, when you first released the video for Is This a London Number? A lot of people were getting mixed vibes about that. What sort of recognition was you getting for that? What sort of reviews were you getting for that song? Because it was a bit of a weird song for a debut song.
Yeah, this song was actually like a joke. Like it's even like a private joke, because it's not like it's basically like a Toto track, you know. We love Toto, and it has this Californian rock AOR vibe. And for example, Jelly, our drummer, who is also my co-producer, was expecting something along the lines of Toto, you know, like Bobby Kimball or Joseph Williams on the chorus, because it really is a Toto chorus. And the funny thing is that before the recordings, Damian and myself already spoke about the idea that he could use one of the songs on the album to basically sing the phone book. Because a lot of people are always commenting on YouTube on many songs that Damian has sung. It doesn't matter if it's Trishul, Derion, or whatever. And they often say, oh man, Damian would sound great even if he sung the phone book. you know, and there were so many of this type of comments. And we are like, what if you actually sing the fucking phone book? You know, let's do it. Sing the phone book.
Yeah, I know some people. I know one of my friends doesn't like. He loves the album, but he doesn't like that song because of that idea. He said it doesn't work. But each to their.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite songs and Vivian from this album?
I really like the title track, the second one, and the one just after that, deoxyribonucleic acid, the long song title, you know.
Yeah.
I also like a lot the instrumental, Reversal of Fortune, a Reversal of Fortune, and yeah, and then probably Amnesia.
There's something about your band. I mean, every production is brilliant. I mean, the last two albums, the productions have sounded great. I mean, Jelly's drums are some. I've been a drummer myself. I always listen to the drums on your albums and go, "Wow, these sound brilliant." You know, I mean, you guys can't go wrong with producing because the last two albums you've had fantastic productions.
Yeah, thank you. I believe that Jelly is a monster musician, but also a monster producer. His mix is like technically perfect, you know, and he's so good. I just love him too much.
So, what's the chemistry that works for you guys? Because you've got a special chemistry going on. What is it that makes you guys unique and successful?
Yeah, I believe it's the fact that, for example, you mentioned Joop before, and Joop and I know each other for more than 20 years. We've played on all those albums and projects together. And just the same, I met Jelly, I think, around it was during the tour, the Atomic tour, when Atomic Ark was released. I think I met Jelly at a drum clinic of Virgil. Because during the tour, we organized some drum clinics here and there, you know, near the dates.
Yeah.
But it's really in 2018, 2019 that I started to talk more with Jelly. And he's basically a French guy like me living near from here, you know. So it's insane because he really has, he is like a fusion of my former drummer, Ryan van Poederoyen. You know, he has this heavy touch, like he could basically play with Devin Townsend, no problem. And at the same time, he has the technicality also of Virgil. You know, I mean, Jelly is insane. He has this perfect middle ground. And so I start working with him, but we became friends, which was very easy because he's French. We live near from each other. So yeah, I also wrote a lot of music for him, you know, instrumental music for him whenever he do drum clinics and stuff like that. And it's just this type of friendship. And Damian, for example, we spent so much time on the phone during the pandemic. In 2020, 2021, we could spend some time the whole evening, the whole night, even speaking about any concept, anything. And I think this could be heard on Paint the Sky still, that there was a cohesiveness, a cohesion between everybody. But I think it became more apparent on the last album because I decided to remove guests. I didn't want any guests outside this incredible keyboard player and pianist from the Netherlands, Matt Daniel, who is playing in a cover band with Joop. And but I really wanted no guest on the record. I was thinking that we should do really an album together, just us five guys, so that it would be more intimate and soon more like a band, you know?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's one of my favorite albums of last year.
Thank you so much.
It's played a hell of a lot for me. I'm not just saying that, Vivian. I really mean that. It's a fucking killer album.
Thank you very much. Well, you know, it's taste and colors. Some people will like or not like the music, you know, like we speak of London Number, for example. I totally understand. The only important thing for me is that at least people can hear the cohesiveness between us, you know. The most important to me is that we succeeded to sound like a band more than a project, you know, which was
So your next album, you're gonna have a song called Paris is Is Paris calling?
I have absolutely no clue.
So
Because
have you got? Have you
I
got?
started to write already, but you know, I have working titles. They are never definite. And in the end, for example, Damian is changing the title of the songs all the time, so I have no idea what they will be called.
So have you got any new songs wrote for the next album?
Yeah, I got started, and but I don't want to run, so I don't know if it will be released this year or next year. I have no clue, because also when we finish writing a record, then we have to go in the studio, record it, and then there is a huge time frame until the label can release it. So I'm not sure if it will be out this year or next year, but yeah.
So how will it progress? How will it progress from the current album? How will it differ? Will it sound any different?
Until now, I would say that it's following the same. It's around the same vibes, but also different. But I just got started recently, so it's still too early to say.
Right. Okay. So how long did it take to record The Fish You Wanted to Be King?
To be honest, to record, it doesn't take more than 1 to 2 months, you know. But it's the mix which takes time, and a lot of time also Jelly is mixing ahead of the mix. He's pre-mixing already some stuff. For example, his drums are a lot of work, like any drums on a record. It's really important, and there are so many microphones and so many stuff to figure out. So sometimes he is starting to mix his drums ahead of mixing the record, you know, and then he makes adjustments. But yeah, I would say that he can take anywhere between 2 to 3 months in total. If
Okay, then. So when are you guys going to be touring? You've never done any tours yet, have you? Is there anything going to happen in the future? Because I would love to see you guys out. In fact, I'd like to drum tech for Jella if I had the opportunity.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Well, Jelly already has technically Roddy, you know, a tech.
Yeah.
And he was with us during the Damian Wilson shows. And we played some songs actually that were on the record. I don't know if you've seen that, but we played London Number. We played We Are Strong. We've played, I think, All of the Lights, the little piano track from Paint the Sky. But yeah, as a real tour for Lalu, I don't know. I don't know really. We have to see when the next album is out. You know, it's always the same. If you have 5,000 unique listeners on Spotify, you can't go to any country and play huge venues, you know. It's there is always a reality attached to it. So yeah,
So
I have no.
I do hope you play England at some point, because I would love to see you, definitely.
I would love it too. Crossing my fingers.
So, Vivien, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview. I know it's been a while, and I know you've been very, very busy over the last few months, but I do appreciate you getting in touch and doing a follow-up. So, do you have anything to say to the people watching this on YouTube?
Thank you for listening to the music. I always insist on it, but like I said before, this music sure doesn't pay the bills, but you know, it's a work of passion. It's something that I just can't stop doing it. You know, I need to write music. So it's very inspiring to see that people out there listen to this music. You know, and so thank you so much for listening and for the inspiration, because that's the true fuel for inspiration, actually.
Right. So, thank you for the interview. I wish you all the best. Please keep in touch. And please share this interview on social media when I upload it. I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So thank you for that, Vivien. I will be in touch in the next 2 days, and I will send you the link. Okay. And thank you. Have a nice evening and good luck with the future, because you guys fucking rock, man. You guys are merci, my friend.
Merci. All thanks here.
Thank you. Keep in touch, Vivien. Bye-bye.
Bye, my
Cheers.
friend.
Au revoir.